Holiday variable generating routines within our in-house versions of the census method. Holiday adjustment is an important part of seasonal adjustment, but it is often hard to measure. I would like to introduce the way we have been applying. Also, I would like to talk about the current plan for the routines to build in X-13-ARIMA-SEATS. Hideki Furuya is Vice President and Chief Economist of SKANIOGLOS Investment Advisory Company Limited. SKANIOGLOS Investment Advisory is a registered financial instruments business operator in Tokyo, which provides macroeconomics-driven investment strategies on global securities currencies portfolios. Disclaimers. This presentation is released to inform interested parties of research and to encourage discussion. And also, this presentation is not released to recommend any investment action. Major holidays often affect to the country where the holidays are not publicly celebrated. This is an example to detect Chinese year factor from the Industrial Production Index of the United States. This is the original series, or the series not seasonally adjusted yet, adjusted for the lengths of February's leap year adjustment. Seasonal factor and leap year factor are plotted as one dotted line. They are removed from the solid line. But holiday factors are not removed yet. Easter factor, Labor Day factor, Thanksgiving Christmas factor. These factors were estimated and removed. Original census method can do this. Let the scale be changed for these holiday factors to compare with Chinese New Year factors. Because from earlier this century, industrial productions of many advanced countries often show fluctuations on January and February. Easter factor is the largest among these three holiday factors. Years like 2013, 16, 18, March productions were down by -0.65% and April productions were up by +0.65% as holiday effect. Therefore, month-on-month basis, holiday factor pushed up April monthly growth by 1.3%. Chinese New Year effect is divided into two factors. One is pre-Chinese New Year factor, to trace surge of production prior to the holiday. Two is Chinese New Year factor, to trace low production period amid and after the holiday. Chinese New Year factors were accepted by the AIC test of the census method. Magnitudes of them are not so different from the Easter, as charted in the lower part of this figure. Let us look at the lower part of this chart, holiday factors for a while. Pre-Chinese New Year factor and Chinese New Year factor cross out each other. Let the product of both factors to name total Chinese New Year factor. Easter factor occurs on March and April in this model. For other months, value of Easter factor is 100%, which means neutral. Chinese New Year factor occurs from December to February, and other months are 100% in this model. Upper part is level of holiday factors. Lower part is month-on-month change of holiday factors. For the years 2017, 20, 21, and year 2023, total Chinese New Year factor is estimated to be larger than Easter factor. For the purpose of, say, international comparison of equally adjusted series, Chinese New Year would be a candidate. Then, how the Chinese New Year factors were estimated while there are no such official holidays in the USA. Pre-holiday window, written in the rounded rectangle, starts at Monday, on or right before, the 22 days earlier than Chinese New Year. Pre-holiday window ends at 8 days earlier than the Chinese New Year. Holiday window, in the rectangle, starts at 7 days earlier than the Chinese New Year. Holiday window ends at the first Sunday on or right after New Year the 2nd. These windows were selected from various windows because they had lower AICCs than other windows. How these windows were chosen. Use of model selection criteria is explained in the section 5.5 of the reference manual. That is the former half of the story, holiday affects which dates are not public holiday. And the story continues to the latter half. PDF version of this slide, with references, will be uploaded to our corporate website. Also, reports on development of enhanced X-13-ARIMA-SEATS will be uploaded. The story continues. Procedure of detection can be divided into 3 steps. 1. Outliers, differencing operators, and other regressors which usually applied should be fixed. 2. Compare various holiday regressors and choose one. 3. Apply chosen holiday regressors and estimate with automatic selections if needed. Holiday windows are the dates which are assumed to be affected by the holiday. For example, 1. A window begins at the New Year's Eve, and ends at the 3rd of the new year. Example 2. A window begins at the 3rd Monday prior to the day before New Year's Eve, and ends at the day before New Year's Eve. Holiday windows are not necessarily equal to public holiday. Public holiday dates are often rejected by the AIC tests. Chinese New Year effects can be observed for the countries without public holidays. For the detection of unknown holiday windows, 3 regressor model may be applicable. The first of 3 regressors is for pre-holiday, the phase of higher production prior to the holiday. The second of 3 regressors is for peri-holiday, the phase of low production during the holiday. The third of 3 regressors is for post-holiday, the phase of recovery of production after the holiday. Also, 2 regressor model can be applicable. The first of 2 regressors is for pre-holiday, the phase of higher production prior to the holiday. The second of 2 regressors is for holiday, the phase of low production and recovery after the holiday. Of course, 1 regressor model may be applicable. Then, holiday window would be changed to holiday regressor by the program. Let me explain about the procedure which has been applied. The first to fix is border of holiday windows with a 7-day pre-holiday window and a 7-day holiday window. Compare AICCs of various borders and find the lowest. Of course the windows can be overlapped, but I prefer to separate the holiday periods. Next, find start of pre-holiday window and end of holiday window. Border of windows. If there exists public holiday, test 3 window models. Let the peri-holiday to be the public holiday dates, and 2 window models. Let the beginning of holiday window as beginning of public holiday, or the weekend right before. After fixing the beginning of pre-holiday window and the end of holiday window, compare the AICCs of best models and choose one. If there are no public holidays and the series is affected by a merchandise trade, border of holiday windows is unknown. Experimentally fix pre-holiday window and holiday window to 7 days. Move the border from several months earlier to several months later. Then, choose the lowest AICC as the border. Hence, the border of holiday window is fixed. Then, fix the start of pre-holiday window and end of holiday window. You can get regressors. This chart and coming charts trace the procedure to find holiday windows of the lowest AICC for industrial production of Taiwan. This case, end of pre-holiday window was fixed as the day before New Year's Eve. Start of holiday window was also fixed as New Year's Eve. Comparing various start of pre-holiday window, lower AICCs were seen among pre-holiday window, which start from 30 days to 15 days preceding to the New Year's Eve. End of holiday window. Lower AICCs were found among 8 days to 16 days after the 3rd day of the new year. End of holiday window continues. End of windows defined by day of week had lower AICCs. Among them, end at the 2nd Thursday after New Year the 3rd was selected. Start of pre-holiday windows were as well. From the 4th Saturday preceding to the New Year's Eve had the lowest AICC. Let's back to the procedure section. Assume all the holiday regressors are tested. Also assume key statistics including AICCs, regressed parameters, and chosen models are stored into one file named metafile.slg. Choose one model from the low AICC group within this file. Then, apply chosen holiday regressors and estimate with automatic selections if needed. Note that above process needs to compare several thousands of regressors for each holiday. Detection of the world's major moving holiday factors would need several-hour calculation for each series. Therefore, efficient processes are welcome. I will automate above process for easier detections. Data of the following calendars and holidays have been prepared to build in X-13-ARIMA-SEATS. Very roughly from east to west, Matariki holiday of Maori New Year, Korean, Chinese, and Vietnamese variants of Chinese type lunisolar calendar, Thai variant of Buddhist calendar, Deepavali and other holidays of Hindu calendar, Hijri lunar calendar, Hebrew lunisolar calendar, liturgical calendars of Eastern and Western Christianity. There remains lots of stories about enhancement of the census method. Mr. Takashi Suga began to develop Wenigze in the mid-1990s. Wenigze is a library of all the calendars which have ever appeared, planned, or imagined in the history. This is the source of my idea for a module to remove the world's major moving holiday factors. Links to articles, formulae, and important sites will be stored in the PDF version of this slide. Thank you for viewing this slide. Inquiries, suggestions, or questions are welcome.